I am going to share some of the most important Selenium interview questions and answers which will set you apart in the interview process. Before I begin discussing the questions, I'd like to emphasize that manual testing is time-consuming, tedious, boring, and prone to errors. This gave rise to automation testing and in turn, demand for Selenium automation testers. Pertaining to why only Selenium, and not any other tool? That is because Selenium is open source and its easy adoption has earned itself the tag of being the poster boy of web testing tools. With a whopping 300% increase in job postings over the past 3 years, testing has presented itself as an entry point into the IT world for professionals from various domains. Before start Selenium interview question and answer session, I request to subscribe my YouTube channel and press bell icon to get notification regarding new updates.
What is automation testing?
Automation testing is the process of automating the manual testing of the application under test or the system under test. It includes the involvement of testing tools that help us create test scripts, which can be used repeatedly without any human intervention.
What is Selenium and what is composed of?
Selenium is a suite of tools for automated web testing. There are 3 types of Selenium composed. First is Selenium IDE. It is a tool for recording and playing back. It is a Firefox plugin. Second is WebDriver and Rc. It provide the APIs for a variety of languages like Java, .NET, PHP, etc. With most of the browsers WebDriver and Rc works. And last is Grid. With the help of Grid you can distribute tests on multiple machines so that test can be run parallel, which helps in cutting down the time required for running in-browser test suites.
How will you find an element using Selenium?
In Selenium every object or control in a web page is referred as an element. There are different ways to find an element in a web page. By ID, by name, by tag, by attribute, by CSS, by linked list, by partial linked text and by path etc.
List out the test types that are supported by Selenium.
For a web-based application testing Selenium can be used. The test types can be supported are functional and regression.
Explain the difference between single and double slash in XPath.
Single slash, start selection from the document node. It allows you to create absolute path expressions. Double slash start selection matching anywhere in the document. It enables to create relative path expressions.
List out the technical challenges with Selenium.
There are 5 technical challenges with Selenium. First is Selenium supports only web-based applications. Second is it does not support the bitmap comparison. Third is for any reporting-related capabilities have to depend on third-party tools. Fourth is no vendor support for tool compared to commercial tools like HP, UFT. And fifth is as there is no object repository concept in Selenium, maintainability of objects becomes difficult.
What is the difference between verify and assert commands?
Assert allows to check whether an element is on the page or not. The test will stop on the step failed, if the asserted element is not available. In other words, the test will terminate it at the point where check fails. Verify command will check whether the element is on the page. If it is not, then the test will carry on executing. In verification, all the commands are going to run guaranteed even if any of test fails.
What are the advantages of Selenium?
There are 4 advantages from Selenium. First is it supports C#, PHP, Java, Perl, Python. Second is it supports different OS like Windows, Linux and Mac OS. Third is it has got powerful methods to locate elements, as path, DOM, CSS. And last it has highly developer community supported by Google.
What are the 4 parameters you have to pass in Selenium?
4 parameters that you have to pass in Selenium are, host, port number, browser, and URL.
What is heightened privileges browsers?
The purpose of heightened privileges is similar to proxy injection, allows websites to do something that are not commonly permitted. The key difference is that the browsers are launched in a special mode called heightened privileges. By using these browser mode, Selenium core can open the out directly and also read/write its content without passing the whole out through the Selenium Rc server.
What is object repository?
An object repository is an essential entity in any UI automations which allows a tester to store all objects that will be used in the scripts in one or more centralized locations rather than scattered all over the test scripts.
Explain how Selenium Grid works.
Selenium Grid sent the tests to the hub. These tests are redirected to Selenium WebDriver, which launch the browser and run the test. With entire test suite, it allows for running tests in parallel.
What are core extension?
If you want to extend the default functionality provided by Selenium Function Library, you can create a core extension. They are also called user extension. You can even download ready-made core extension created by other Selenium enthusiasts.
Why Selenium Rc is used?
Selenium IDE does not directly support many functions like condition statements, iteration, logging and reporting of test results, unexpected error handling and so on, as IDE supports only HTML language. To handle such issues, Selenium Rc is used. It supports the language like Perl, Ruby, Python, PHP. Using these languages we can write the program to achieve the IDE issues.
What is a robot class?
This robot class provides control over the mouse and keyboard devices. The methods include: first methods is key press. This method is called when you want to press any key. Second method is key release. This method is used to release the pressed key on the keyboard. Third method is mouse move. This method is called when you want to move the mouse pointer in the X and Y coordinates. Fourth method is mouse press. This is used to press the left button of the mouse. Fifth method is mouse move. This method helps in releasing the pressed button of the mouse.
How do you achieve synchronization in WebDriver?
It is a mechanism which involves more than one components to work parallel with each other. Synchronization can be classified into two categories. First is unconditional. In this we just specify timeout value only. We will make the tool to wait until certain amount of time and then proceed further. And second is conditional. It specifies a condition along with timeout value, so that tool waits to check for the condition and then come out if nothing happens.
What is soft assertion in Selenium? How can you mark a test case as failed by using soft assertion?
Soft assertions are customized error handlers provided by TestNG. Soft assertions do not throw exceptions when assertion fails, and they simply continue to the next test step. They are commonly used when we want to perform multiple assertions. To mark a test as failed with soft assertions, call Assert All method at the end of the test.
How to skip a method or a code block in TestNG.
If you want to skip a particular test method, then you can set the enabled parameter and test annotation to false. Add test enabled equals false. By default, the value of enabled parameter will be true. Hence it is not necessary to define the annotation as true while defining it.
Can we enter text without using send keys?
Yes. We can enter /send text without using send keys method. We can do it using JavaScript executor. How do we do it? Using DOM method of identification of an element, we can go to that particular document and then get the element by its ID, here login, and then send the text by value.
What are the different types of drivers available in WebDriver?
There are 8 types of drivers available in WebDriver, such as Firefox driver, Internet Explorer driver, Chrome driver, Safari driver, Opera driver, Android driver, iPhone driver, and HTML unit driver.